Books, books. I like books. I'm gonna read them all. Hi readers, Chris here. Welcome to my channel where I review fantasy, Stephen King, all sorts of books, and today I'm doing an unhaul. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, so hopefully by the time you're watching this, I am well on my way to the Dominican Republic. Yes, that's right. And every time I go on vacation, I like to do an unhaul before I go, just in case I find any books while I'm on a trip. I also feel like I haven't done very many unhauls this year. I've been slacking, but it is really time to do one because the books that I've gotten recently, I've had a really hard time finding space for them. So definitely time for an unhaul, so I'm just gonna jump right in. Actually, before I jump right in, can I just say I've chosen the hottest day of the year to film this, and I legitimately can feel myself sweating. So hopefully you can't notice that on camera. All right, so let's jump in with my first book that I'm unhauling, and this is not just gonna be one book, this is gonna be an entire series, and that's gonna be Artemis Fowl, the Artemis Fowl series. This series is a total of 9 books, and I have read them all. I read them all over the course of, I want to say it was 2021. I don't think it was last year. I think it was 2021. And overall, I did enjoy this series. I think I did a review on the entire series at some point. If I can find out where it is, I'll link it above. But I really enjoyed the series, but at this point, I don't see myself revisiting it. If you're into middle grade fantasy, I do think it's worth a read. A lot of these books are really fun. Some of them are better than others, but a lot of them are really, really fun. If you don't know anything about it, there's a young boy named Artemis. He's this 11-year-old so-called criminal mastermind. He's very, very smart, and he ends up meeting up with Holly, who is a fairy. And the fairies in this world are underground. There's this whole fairy empire under the ground, and Artemis and Holly team up to do these crazy, sometimes heists, sometimes magical missions, all sorts of shenanigans. So again, they're really, really fun. They're meant for younger readers, but I think they can be enjoyed by someone of any age. Again, at this point, I just feel like I have moved on from this series, so it is time to say goodbye to Artemis Fowl. Another middle grade read I am getting rid of is The Mysterious Benedict Society. Now, I only read book 1, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I never watched the show. I also have this second book, which I haven't read, and I believe this is either the 3rd or the 4th book in the series. So because I don't have the second, I can't read this one. I can't read books out of order. I just can't do it. Both of these I found bargain book hunting, so I did not pay very much money for them. I haven't been able to find any more. I don't want to pay full price for them. So again, I think I gave this a shot. I liked it, but I don't think I liked it enough to want to wait around for the second one. So unfortunately, I'm going to say goodbye to both of these Mysterious Benedict Society books. And I probably should have mentioned, this is a middle grade, more of an adventure tale, not a fantasy. There's these children who end up getting recruited to basically take down another criminal mastermind. I feel like that's a theme here. But these children are just regular children. They just each have these really unique abilities. One is really good at inventing things. It's kind of like a MacGyver. One is really, really book smart. One is really, really energetic. They each have their different strengths and weaknesses. So together they make a really great team. Again, it's a really cute adventure book for middle grade readers. It's just for me personally, there's other stuff I want to read more. Next up, I'll be unhauling this historical fiction, Sister in Arms. This is a really great book. It's about women in World War II, not just any women. It's about Black women in World War II. And these women joined the post office, but they ended up getting sent overseas to help deliver these letters. And again, this is a real story, a real thing that happened. And I love the way that this book is written, because it's written from a very hopeful tone of voice. Like, a lot of stories, especially when it comes to World War II, are like very emotional and very, you know, kind of take the sad and the devastating angle. But this one takes the angle of, hey, these women did something amazing and that should be celebrated. So it comes from a really positive place. So if you are into World War II fiction, Sisters in Arms, I definitely recommend checking this one out. Again, I've read it. I don't see myself rereading it, but I do hope that it finds a good home. Next up, I have a YA fantasy, Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. This is actually an ARC that was sent to me by the publisher. I was really excited because this is like one of the first times a publisher actually reached out to me directly and sent me a book, so I was super excited. But this one ended up just being okay. Like, I enjoyed it for the most part, but it wasn't anything like mind-blowing. So again, I don't see myself revisiting this one. It's very much like a witchy tale. We have a young girl who's kind of involved in witchcraft, and her mother may or may not be a witch, and all these mysterious things are going on. So it's like a little bit of a mystery. Again, it has a lot of good things going for it, and if you're into witchy tales, you may want to check this one out. It's good. It's not great though, if you know what I mean. So again, if you lower your expectations, you may enjoy this one. I did enjoy it, but again, I just don't see myself going back to it. But speaking of books that I enjoyed, here's one that I kind of really didn't, and that is After Alice by Gregory Maguire. If you're not familiar with Gregory Maguire, he wrote Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. And he's written many, many, many retellings, and a lot of them I absolutely love. However, After Alice is not one of them. As you can imagine, it's an Alice in Wonderland retelling. This one kind of hurts because even though I don't like this book, I have his whole collection. So I was holding on to this for the longest time because if I got rid of it, then I don't have his complete collection anymore. But again, I've gotten so many books recently, I'm like, I can no longer hold on to a book that I genuinely don't like just because it's part of my collection. So After Alice by Gregory Maguire, I love this cover. It's really cool. It's like transparent, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to get rid of this one. Next up, I have kind of a random one, but this is the unauthorized biography of Lemony Snicket. Again, this is in reference to a middle grade series, a series of unfortunate events. If you don't know anything about a series of unfortunate events, go watch the show on Netflix. It's about 3 children who are orphaned. They have to go live with this like distant uncle of theirs, Olaf, and he finds out that the children are like supposed to inherit this large sum of money, so he tries to get his hands on the money, and then throughout the rest of the series, the children are like kind of on the run. All this crazy stuff happens to them. They find out their parents' death may not have been an accident, there's secret societies, and the whole series is written by this very mysterious character known as Lemony Snicket. And this is an autobiography of the fake author of the books. I actually have 2 copies of this book. I have this one, which you'll see has no cover, and I have a second one that's on my shelf that actually does have the dust jacket. So obviously I don't need 2 copies of this book. I think I just picked it up because it was like 50 cents or something, but I'm just going to unhaul it to make some more space. And I think this will be the last one for now, and that's going to be Deja Dead by Kathy Reichs. If you have ever heard of Bones, the TV show that used to be on TV, these are the books that that show was based on. I have never read a Kathy Reichs book, but I've always wanted to because I absolutely loved the Bones TV show. And I had a friend that I know that has read a lot of these books that really, really likes them. So again, I found this used book for like super cheap, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna pick it up because I'm gonna read it someday. That was like 10 years ago. I've never read it. And again, I think at this point, I've moved on from Bones. I've moved on from Kathy Reichs. There's things that I just want to read more. So instead of just letting this sit there, collect dust, I'm going to give it away and make room for something else. So there you have it. That is it for my unhaul today. It's 15 books in total, which may not seem like a lot, but that's actually really good for me. So now I want to know from you, have you unhauled any books lately? Do you need to make more room? Let me know in the comments section below. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel for more bookish stuff coming your way soon. All right, everyone, happy reading.